What is up? What is up? I want to not make this too long, but I really wanted to give my thoughts and opinions on Jade Buffs that I think you can't argue with. You cannot argue with. I was actually going to title this video Jade Buffs you can't argue with, but Jade quality of life buffs, because I think my suggestions are extremely fair. I'm going to use characters as an example leading up to Jade, right? To discuss this. So we'll start with Scorpion. Baraka. All of the buffs that I'm going to suggest, improvements are very, very fair. So Scorpion has like a normal spear, right? But he also has an amplified spear. This is his projectile. From amplifying the spear, you can follow up with any kind of combo you want, right? For increased damage. That's what you get with Scorpion. Baraka, with Baraka, his projectile is a high, right, and does 70 damage. Okay, if you amplify it, it's a high mid, right? So he's getting about what, 130 damage basically. Basically 130 damage, but the benefit of it is that it's a high mid and it comes pretty fast. It goes pretty fast, right? One more set of examples. Sonya, and there's just so many examples. Frost. But let's just use Frost. All of these things that I'm talking about are leading into why these are quality of life buffs for Jade, right? So obviously you have the normal projectile with Sonya, which is a high, it does 60 damage, but if you amp it, it's a high mid, so that's 120 damage, right? Cool. Again, the benefit of that is that you get a mid. Okay, so Frost, double high, and that's what, that was 80 damage. Yeah, about 80 damage. But if you amplify it, you get 2 highs and 3 mids that equate to like a lot of damage, right? So not only do you get a lot more damage, but you also get the fact that it's a mid, so you have to do something about it because it's a mid. You can't just neutral duck it. And there's plenty more examples of this in so many other characters. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually is, out of all the buffs that I'm going to mention, one of the buffs that actually do happen. KANG gets triple fireballs, high mid. The Joker gets if he amplifies his projectile, he gets a bomb that you have to do something about because it's hard to jump over it. NIGHTWOLF, again, high mid with his projectiles. So let's go to Jade. So we'll just talk about projectiles. So NIGHTWOLF's got a high, and he's got amplified version that also gives a mid as well, right? So now to Jade. So Jade has, and this is in her Jaded variation, okay? Because this is the variation that, although it's a universal change, it will be more beneficial with this variation, because I feel like the approach they took with this variation is that it was meant to be like a rush down type of variation, sort of like with Jackie's upgraded variation. That's not meant to be a projectile based variation. It's meant to be a, you know, fuck neutral, rush down, be very oppressive. You can't, it's hard to do that with this variation of Jade though. So let's, you know, speak on it, right? So she gets a high projectile, okay? When amplified, well, she gets not only another high, so the opponent can literally just duck, like just wait and duck, right? Buff would be to obviously make the second projectile a mid. Why is it it's both highs? So make the second, when amplified, a mid, because as it stands now, it's not as beneficial as the previous projectiles that I mentioned, from Scorpion to Frost to even Nightwolf right in front of us, right? So make that the case, or and I would love for this to be the case, because this will be similar to how her projectile worked in MK9 and MKX. Make Jade's projectile act the same way as Kung Lao's Z-Hat. In fact, yeah, just make it act the exact same way. Even Kung Lao's Z-Hat. Like, when amplified, you get what? Mids and lows, so you have to do something about it. Make Jade's projectile the same way as Lao's. Make it exactly the same way, because that's how her projectiles have always been. It acted like a boomerang before. And you can follow up from it as well. Like, there's added benefits. So anyway, Aaron Black's options when it comes to his run is the slide. That's one option. Second option, slide with amp. Third option, the boot. Fourth option, boot with the pistol. There we go. So that was how many options. So he had the boot, amplified boot, slide, amp slide, obviously the cancel itself, and the he's got essentially 6 options, okay? 6 options, right? Now Terminator, and it was 14 startup, 12 recovery. So Terminator has 1 option, 2 options, 3 options, 4 options. Obviously the cancel, that's 5. So he's got 5 options, right? He has 5. Matter of fact, he's got 6 options essentially, because you can do this, which you can amplify. So that's essentially 7, just the same as Aaron Black, right? So they have 6 to 7 options, and the frames is 12 startup, 19 recovery. 7 good options, right? Remember that. 7 to 6 options for both. They just so happen to have command grabs with those options. with those variations, right? So Jade, 18 recovery. Terminator has 19 recovery on his, 18 recovery on Jade's, right? Okay, so let's go through Jade's options. So she has 1, which is a mid. She also has the amplified version, so that's 2. 3, the actual cancel itself. 4, the amplified kick, and that's it. That's actually it. She has 4 options. She has 4 options. She has no command grab on this variation. Let's try it now. That's covered. That's covered. That's covered. That's covered because you just have to hit her out of it. And that's it. That's it. She's ran out of options now. She's ran out of options. Let's just say you have Fatal Blow. I think they I think they added this just to add it. But it's an overhead, so it doesn't change anything that Terminator is doing. All Terminator is doing, because like, he's not blocking low, he's not covering low or anything. All he's doing is blocking, stand blocking. Every option's covered. Every option's covered. Every option. And if you want to bank it all, that's covered too. Anyway, so I don't want to say that she needs a command grab, although that would be dope if she did. She needs another option with her run. Because if Jade is running at you, you don't really have to be scared of anything. As opposed to someone like Jackie. When Jackie jumps around and does her thing, that's something to be fearful of, because she has options when she does it. When Terminator runs at you, that's something to be fearful of, because he's got options. He's got options. On top of that, it's easier to pull off. All you got to do is press the same button. That's it. That is it. Whereas in Jade's case, you gotta press 2 buttons. You gotta press down twice. That's why before she can stop her run, she has to take, there's a few steps before it stops. But anyway, whereas Terminator is so easy. So easy. But again, he's got options with his run. Not buffing a character just for the sake of it. This is not a approach of, oh, we'll just do it just to do it. Nah, these make sense. These things make perfect sense. I've used other characters to ride home and dive in my point. So, Scorpion. Front throw crushing blow, right? Which does front throw crushing blow, bleeding damage, 30%. And he also got a back throw crushing blow, which does 31% damage. I don't think any Scorpion player was asking for a second crushing blow, but it was like, yes, we'll take it. Like, that's a good thing. That's like just awesome, because Scorpion needed a few buffs here and there anyway. I don't think no one expected him to get that, so, but that's a dope thing to have, right? So he's got 2 crushing blows on his throws, and they deal 30% damage. Okay, so Scarlet, who was definitely in need of buffs and whatnot, right? Also along with her buffs, she's always had this, but she has always had 2 throw crushing blows, and that is very beneficial for this character because she needs to equate as much damage as she can because she's lacking in a lot of areas, right? So she has that back throw crushing blow, which does 310 damage. 310 damage. And she also has a forward throw crushing blow that does, yeah, 310 damage. Okay? So she's got those 2 crushing blows. Just driving home the main point that I'm making with Jade, that essentially, if challenged, she's not to be feared, but she is meant to be feared in this variation, the same way I believe they made upgraded Jackie. I think it's Yas Queen with or Digital Soldier with Cassie. Just a rush down S type character, right? So Jade doesn't have a back throw crushing blow. That is an easy crushing blow to make because it's just a kick animation that you can just use from Scorpions or even Cabals for that matter, because she kicks the back, doesn't she? That could be an easy crushing blow to make, and it's not really changing anything so drastically. It's just an added crushing blow. So now she has 2. Same way Scorpion got a second crushing blow out of nowhere. Other characters have 2 crushing blows. Why not? Why not with Jade? So Jade has 1 throw crushing blow, which does 140 damage. 140 damage compared to the crushing blows I've just gone over that do minimum 30 damage. Yeah, but maybe you're not doing the optimal. No, that pretty much is optimal. Optimal. That was not meant to happen, but it would essentially be that. It would not be that much damage though. At this point, if they break, you do get that, but that's at the expense of a crushing blow. No, actually not even so much the expense. That armor break that Jade got is a little bit of a lifesaver, a little bit, because it gives this pop-up relevance. It gives this pop-up relevance if they break away from it, because now you can just get that. Now you can just get the you can get up to close to 40% damage with that armor break. But again, they do have to break for that to happen. There we go. So you're getting 341. That's the optimal from that throw crushing blow. But now that she has a good armor breaking move, you get you get 383 at the expense of using your crushing blow and using an armor break. First of all, if they armor break, you're basically getting 40. You're basically getting .40 more damage, because before it's just 341 if you do the optimal. That's if you do the optimal. And there's another if. With the armor break, if they break away, you're gonna get 383 from it. And then after that, you have, as another if is, you have to get the 383, you have to amplify it. If not amplified, it's 337. But you'll be kind of a fool to spend it unamplified. You have to. But Jade got a really good armor break. Her armor break is really good. Anyway, I predicted that she would have got the Nitro kick, but the way it works is really good. So you could do that, which is 216, but that's at the expense of a bar. Or you could do the regular one, which is 191. Or I think you can amplify it. Let me see. Yeah, you can. So you got options. 240. So like, this video is not to say Jade is bad or anything. She just needs improvements, and these are improvements that I think she should get, which you can't argue with, because I've used other characters to back up the things that I think she requires to be more formidable, especially in her Jaded variation, which is meant to be a variation that is an oppressive variation, such as with the improvements with Aaron Black, Bark and Irons. Terminator Dark Fate. Jaded should be the same. It should be the same, just on par with them. That's what the quality of life buffs for Jade should be. Make it so that she's on par with the rest of the people, of the characters that have the same sort of moveset as she has, if not improve on the moveset that she has. So that is what I think Jade needs. Jade does need buffs. I will be so shocked if she doesn't get buffed in the next patch or update, whenever that is. Whenever that is, I'll be shocked if she doesn't get as strenuous or as focused buff as to what Kitana has had in the past, which she needed, or what Scarlet got in the last patch. Because the things that I mentioned are so fair in Jade's case that it doesn't really affect or change the game. It just makes Jade more formidable.